Hello everybody and welcome back to a very cool video on the Retro Union Collectors channel today. Today we're taking a look at a Transformer that I have been wanting for a long time. This is the Earthrise Starscream. Now, I've seen this in the stores numerous times when it came out, but I just never bought it because I wasn't into the whole War for Cybertron series, but this is like the one that I had always kind of had in my mind, like, I want that one. And here it is. And so the first one I got actually showed up, and the box was just destroyed, and I was mad. And I made a video about that. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It should be up here. But this is the box here. So this is Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy. Starscream, we got War for Cybertron E9. Here we got the big Transformers logo. There is the really cool looking Earthrise art, and this, as opposed to the Siege art has like the arc taking off. This one has the arc crashing on Earth, so that's pretty cool. It's got a Quintesson up there and everything. Here on the back we got pictures of him in both of his modes. It also says here something about you can get a Battle Master. Very cool, very cool. Here's this side. We got a nice picture of him. Although I will say that it's a really weird looking picture of him. That's really orange. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of, well, first of all, it's got the Siege look. That's not the Earthrise Starscream. That right there is not a picture of this. I'm just gonna say it straight up. That's not this at all. But anyways, getting the box out of here, we can bring him in. And taking a look at him right here, I think this is awesome. Now, I'm not huge on G1, like I've said, but there are certain characters that I just love that stand out against the others. And some of those examples here, we can do a real quick comparison, are Shockwave, Starscream, and Soundwave. These are my three favorite Decepticons of all time, and they happen to be the three I have from the War for Cybertron series. I plan on getting a Megatron at some point, but I haven't done that yet. I also have this here, but this here will be in a different video. This is Thundercracker. But as for now, this is my War for Cybertron Decepticon collection, and I have absolutely zero complaints. So we got those two out of here. Taking another look at him here. This is just the coolest. The only thing I would say, I kind of wish the Decepticon logos went the other way so that they faced up in robot mode. But then it's inaccurate for jet mode, and it's like, whatever. But this is him here. Very, very cool. It's got a lot of molded in details all over this thing. I adjusted my light here so I can show you this. This thing is just littered with molded in detail. Kind of like I was showing off with that Shockwave. How just like every inch of it has molded detail for almost no reason. It's like they went above and beyond. They took what they needed, you know what I mean? There we go. They did what they needed and then just went like 4 steps above with all these little molded details. And like you can tell, just like seeing in here, like all these little etches and stuff, like I think it turned out super cool. And then you can look in there, and it's got like the turbines. I don't own the Siege version of any of the Seekers. I believe these actually turn into like the turbines on the back end of the Siege mold. So that's kind of cool. They carried it over to this mold, although it serves a different function. But yeah, no, I'm really, really liking this robot mode. This is definitely, when I think of the Earthrise, or when I think of the G1 Starscream, this Earthrise one is definitely what pops into my head. I think they did a great job on this. Even the head sculpt turned out really nice. Get my light in there a little bit better. There we go. But that being said, he does have 2 accessories. These are his null rays here. And with Starscream, these aren't so much accessories as they really are just part of him, because they go on his shoulders and they're actually like physically part of the robot mode. Whereas if you were to take those off and display it, it would just look kind of odd. I've also seen, I guess, some of the Coneheads instruction manuals show them actually like holding the no rays like a gun. But it's like, man, no, that's not how it goes. It goes on the shoulder. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys know what I mean. But I think they did a fantastic job with this robot mode here. Articulation wise, it's I've heard it's not quite as good as the Siege model, but it's still, I mean, it workable. His head is on a ball joint, so you get quite a range of motion there. You can move it all around. Pretty expressive. His shoulders can come out to about a 90-degree angle there. He does have rotation at the biceps, as well as a hinge at the elbow that can go a little past 90 degrees. No wrist swivel, but due to transformation, his wrist can actually go all the way back. So, I mean, you can kind of use that for some poses. This thing here moves just to allow clearance for the legs. The legs can kick out. This is the part that the Siege model is better. His legs can kick out that far. And I've heard that the Siege model can go like way further. It can also come back only that far because it's hindered by this piece. Which I actually at first, because of this hinge here, I thought that this piece here would kind of fold back and allow it to move more. No, quite the opposite. This entire ass section bends at that. So there's really nothing you can do about that. They can also come out only that far. So the legs aren't the most articulated, like with the range that it can actually like swing out and stuff. There is a rotation joint though, which is always nice. There's a knee joint that can go to. So you can actually, I guess you can disengage this piece and kind of get it to fold a little bit more there. So it can go a little past 90 degrees without popping that off though. You can. It's about the same actually. Yeah, it's about the same. He does have ankle rocker joints, which are very nice. You can help. Those right there help you get Starscream into some like really dynamic poses. Because Starscream, like I was saying about the Shockwave character in the last video about how Shockwave's feet aren't super posable and that you wouldn't really need them to be super posable. Starscream is kind of the opposite. His legs are really posable, and you kind of need them to be posable with the Starscream, because to contrast with that Shockwave, Starscream is a very agile character. And with that being said, we can go ahead and get him transformed into his vehicle mode. Alrighty, and here we have Starscream transformed up in his very, very, very nice looking jet mode here. And so this jet mode, I believe this to be an F-15 Eagle. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments. I have actually heard, one thing I do know, I can't remember the exact name of the jet. It might be an F-15 Eagle. I might be wrong about that. I do, however, know that the back end here is inaccurate. It's technically a different version of this jet that has the rectangle shaped like turbines in the back here. This jet should have round shaped turbine things, but I mean, that's not a big deal. But I think that this jet looks absolutely incredible. It's so detailed. There's, like I was saying in the robot mode, there's just so much molded in detail and just little things on here that they really didn't have to add, but they did, and it looks great because of it. Just trying to focus there. One minor complaint that I do have is that this red stripe painted on top of this blue plastic is not at all the same color as this red. This is like a very much maroon look over that blue, whereas this is bright and vibrant red. But that's just a minor nitpick. Same with these stripes. These stripes are kind of like a third color opposed to these and these. But I mean, other than some just like minor nitpicks like that, I think this turned out absolutely incredible. I really like this. I also really like how they have, I believe it is, yep, right here. You can pull this down and there's a little peg there for stands. Now, I don't have a stand that works like that. I want one, but I don't know how to acquire one, I guess. But I think this jet turned out incredible. I really like the orientation of the Decepticon logos looks good in jet mode. I honestly just would have preferred them to be this way so that it turned out the right way in robot mode. But there's arguments for that and there's arguments against that. I get it. But all in all, I think that this jet mode turned out really, really cool. And as just a quick comparison here, we can look at him and Thundercracker. And I think these two are just repaints of each other, so there's not really any difference. And just to bring out one that actually has some differences, here is the leader class Kingdom Optimus Prime. And I don't have his trailer attached to it right now, but you can kind of get the idea. So, yeah, it feels weird calling this leader class when this is Voyager class, but there we go, and kind of get size scale. Optimus is much smaller than Starscream, mostly just because Starscream is so spread out because of the nose cone and the wings and stuff. There isn't, I mean, like, if you look at this, yes, this is going to be huge because there's not, like, this here turns into just wings on his back. It's just aesthetic pieces in robot mode. So that piece just folds back out in jet mode. It makes for a much, much larger looking figure. Whereas this is more compact and more dense. Like, there's a lot more plastic to this. I'm not going to say more than this. I'm just saying this here, you got a lot of stuff like packed in here. This is just this. This doesn't do anything else except fold. I mean, I hope that makes sense, but they feel about the same in weight. Starscream might be a little bit heavier, but Starscream looks significantly larger. And getting him back into robot mode here. So to end this video off, I pretty much just want to say this is a super cool figure. I really enjoy it. I really like both the robot mode and the jet modes. The only other thing I have to compare it to, the only other like G1 Starscream I have is this little dude, this core class Starscream. I actually have 3 of them. One of them's painted, but I was thinking for the longest time that this one was just going to be a big version of this one, and boy was I wrong. This Earthrise Starscream is way cooler than the core class Kingdom one, and I highly recommend it for anyone who wants to add a cool G1 styled Starscream to their collection. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you stick around for more. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all that fun stuff, and have a great night.